All right. Look like we live. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. How you feel? My name is Hazik Ali, and I like to reintroduce myself. Every morning we do this for entrepreneurs. I don't know whether you are a brick and mortar or a click and order. I don't know if you are somebody with a digital space or somebody who's in a space of physical direct sales. But I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna give you something you could use this morning. Our whole goal is to make it so every single morning you can go further, faster, with less effort. But it's all on you right now. Let's see you check in. Hey, let them know where you're from. Let's get this thing going. Real excited about this weekend. We got Communication Pro coming up. Of course, it's sold out. It's already sold out, but we're gonna have a ball. Hopefully, you've been watching all these trainings we've been doing on networking and how to really leverage events, because this weekend's where you're gonna put a lot of that to work. Who we got checking in this morning? Good morning, millionaires. Okay. What's up, Nikki? Good morning, Queen. That's what I'm talking about. I cannot wait to see how you work it out with Chuck Wu. Chuck Wu and the gang. Dexter checking in. What's up, brother? That mean Ohio's in here. Yeah. Oh, man. What's up, Erica? I love it. The ladies representing this morning. Let them know where you from. Let them know what kind of business you had. Since you an early bird, right? Early bird get the bag, baby. I mean, right now you get to shout yourself out. What's up, Vita? Good morning, Queen. Today's going to be a good one for you to share with entrepreneurs. I really feel like habits is the key, man. A lot of people think it's all about discipline. I think it's about habits. You hear me? Let's get this thing going. We got to get this party started on Clubhouse. Hey, Keontae checking in. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Welcome, man. Jasmine's in the house. Honeyfold in the building. Tabitha, what's up? Let's get it going, y'all. Let's get it going. It's almost 7:30, so we're going to go ahead and get this party rocking. I'm going to go ahead and call in on this live line. Okay, then. Shalom Lee? Okay, then. All my peeps, all my homies checking in. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and call in on this live line. Everybody cool with that? In one word, how has your weekend been so far? How has your week been so far? Weekend.
Special.
How's your week been so far, millionaires?
Hello,
one word. Give me one word.
The right place at the right time, because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
Please enter your.
Hold up, I gotta call in again. I'm pushing the wrong code. Let that be a lesson, man. We all be making mistakes.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time, because we're going to bring the millionaire out of you. Just hold on.
Please enter your.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves. Entry and exit tones are off.
Good morning, Joy.
All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
All right, let's get this party started. I see some sensational. I see some amazing, productive. Hey, that's a good word right there. Headed to Atlanta. I love it. Kim Connor coming through this weekend. Communication Pro is already sold out, man. But, we are going to have a ball. We're going to take a lot of notes for you. Make sure you're in the building with us in spirit. Been having a lot of little talk about the COVID test and whatnot that they're requiring, right? Well, the reason that we did that, right, is because leadership means you look out for other people. It's very important, and shouts out to Kim Connor for being a leader. Shouts out to all other leaders. See, a lot of times, man, when you're in positions of leadership, it ain't really about what you need. You barely affected, right? But what you're doing is you're looking out for the less fortunate. You're looking out for those who don't have your ability, who don't have your freedom, who don't have your immune system. Okay. And wouldn't you know, a few people have shown up positive. So really interesting times we live in, but I just wanted to shout it out because I'm really excited about this weekend. Today, though, we're talking about what we call habits, right? Y'all know habits is one of my favorite things to talk about, because at the end of the day, what people confuse for discipline a lot of times is somebody's really, really smart, prodigious, shall we say, use of habits. I want you to share this with an entrepreneur who may need to work on their habits and work on how they're looking at the game, y'all. Because when I was playing basketball, one thing the coach would always talk about, right, is that if you get off to a really good start the night before, or if you get off to a really good start at the tip of the game, then it sets the pace for the rest of the game. Now, we always talk about daytime habits. A lot of times we're real big on talking about how you're going to start once you wake up, right? Good Morning Millionaire is a part of a lot of our morning routine, because every single morning we get to reinforce these powerful habits and philosophies and strategies and mindsets. But check it out. Sometimes, y'all, making sure that you start correctly is about making sure you prepare. Millionaires, we've all seen games, if you're talking about basketball, where everything starts off looking incredible until the team unravels in the fourth quarter, right? This goes to show you that you got to play to the final whistle if you really want to win. And since we have this 90-day blitz coming up, I really want to kick it with you this morning, because I want you to start using this as an opportunity for you to create some habits that can serve you the rest of your life. And even if you're not participating in our 90-day blitz, I still want you to look at some of these habits, because good morning habits, that's well documented. Great to start the day flawlessly. But what I'm going to do you this evening is I'm going to set you up for success with some evening habits. Because a great evening routine not only relaxes your behind, but it recharges you. It helps you to restore so you can show up in optimal physical, mental, and emotional state. Because we're always living in 3 different zones, right? We're always living in our body, we're always living in our mind, and we're always living in our energy. Is that a fact? Millionaire. So I'm going to give you 5 of them this morning. I want you to kind of ride with me. And if you're going to commit to this, if you're willing to step outside yourself, kind of be outside the box, I want you to write it in your notes. If you're rocking with us on Clubhouse, if you're rocking with us on the Millionaire Mind Line, and if you're rocking with us on Facebook or YouTube, maybe you type it in the comments. I want you to commit to this. Here's the first habit for you. At least for the next 90 days, right? Maybe every evening you move your body. Every evening you move your body. Can somebody give me that in the comments? I'm going to move my body every evening. I'm going to move my body every evening. Millionaires, pretend your health, okay, is the head of an octopus, right? If that head is not operating efficiently, there's no way that the tentacles are going to perform to their capability. That's why, I love the fact that so many of you tune in every Saturday for Miss Ama Nantwi. I love that you tune in Monday through Friday with me. But on Sundays, when Dr. Kadira is giving you wellness is the new wealth, you want to tune in. You should be here every single Sunday, y'all, because wellness is wealth. I'm going to tell you something, man. The man with his health has 1,000 dreams. The man without his health only has 1. I'm going to say that again because I bet you somebody ain't catch it. You may want to write this down in your notes, y'all. The man with his health has 1,000 dreams. Oh, you feel like the world is yours. The man without his health only has 1. And that's to get his damn health back. So maybe what you should be doing just a little bit more. And we're just going to focus on 90 days. I ain't mad at you. We're not going to be no taskmasters, but I just want to throw it out there that after a hard day at work, especially when you're an entrepreneur, exercising removes a lot of the clutter in your head. After a hard day at work, especially for an entrepreneur, exercise creates space for new ideas and all this positive energy and positive thoughts to flow. I don't care if it's a quick 30-minute walk on the treadmill at the gym. I don't care if you just walk around the block, y'all. I don't care if it's a relaxing yoga class. Maybe you don't want to do this hot yoga stuff. Done about to kill you. You know what I mean? My girl is a fanatic for it and whatnot. And, it's 125-degree weather in this sauna and you're doing yoga positions. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you want to do something less masochistic. It's cool, but make a commitment that you're going to move your body. Can I get you to commit to that? Any type of, I don't care if it's a social activity, right? Like maybe you're going to do a little salsa dancing, right? Any type of movement that will allow you to experience the positive endorphins that always come with exercise. Let's get it. If you're going to move your body every evening. Yeah, I say morning. Okay, Erica, you're going to go morning. I'm going to move my body every evening. I love it. All right, here's number 2, y'all. Here's number 2. As entrepreneurs, we forget this one a lot. But for the next 90 days, here's the whole thing, right? Some of us are going to need to negotiate with the people that are closest to us, right? And then some of us are going to have to make a tradition out of giving this pure 30 minutes or this pure hour to the people that are closest to us. We have to remember, right, that if we don't put nothing in, there ain't going to be nothing to withdraw when we need it. You hear me? And a bunch of us, and I'm include myself in this, right? A bunch of us, what happens, y'all, is that we get so caught up in our goals that we end up getting into this place where we start neglecting people. We're going to learn this weekend about different personality types. I happen to be what's called a winter. At least I was the last time I tested myself. Who knows? Maybe I've evolved in some ways because that happens. You begin to change. But a winter personality sometimes gets crucified because it seems like you're putting the project over the people. Millionaires, what you want to do is instead of everything being passive and letting the environment set your schedule, what if during this time you say, hey, every day from this time to this time, I'm going to take a mental break from everything. I'm going to take this 30 minutes. I'm going to take this 1 hour. I'm going to take this 90 minutes. And that's going to be pure love time, right? And then you get back to work more recharged. If it's not going to be 90 minutes, maybe it's 60 minutes. But the whole thing is the rest of the day, you're focused. Right? And everybody understands your focus. Because when I was doing the 90-day blitz videos, I gave one technique where maybe you want to negotiate with your family. Like, look, I'm going to be persona non grata for a while. Well, that's one level of negotiation. But you can also take it to a level where for this next 90 days, you schedule in that time and you make it count. Maybe you play a board game. Maybe you watch a show that y'all have together. But the rest of the time, you're focused. And even when you're studying, I want to remind entrepreneurs, they tell you that one of the most powerful techniques you can do to accelerate your learning process is make sure you're taking breaks. So many of us, we can get so lost in our work that we tend to neglect the people that are closest to us. And one of the best ways to maintain your happiness, y'all, one of the best ways to recharge your battery is to give a little time to the people you love. These are going to be your biggest supporters during the good times and the bad times. So you better invest in it. All right, here's the third one, y'all. Somebody say, I'm going to invest in my loved ones so they can invest in me. I'm going to invest in my loved ones so they can invest in me. We can't get so caught up in work that we forget why we're doing it, y'all. And for the next 90 days, if it's going to be that 30 minutes of uninterrupted activity or that hour of uninterrupted activity, then that makes it easier so that the rest of the time you're really focused. And now they're looking at you like, hey, this ain't your break time. Like, what's up? Now, you said we was going to, Disney. Next thing you know, your kid's going to be like, Daddy, ain't you supposed to be working? You know what I mean? All right. Here's the third one. Educate yourself. Educate yourself. Sounds kind of simple, but a lot of us just don't do it. Sounds kind of simple. A lot of us just don't do it, right? But what I'm suggesting is that you educate yourself every evening. If you're going to become the most successful version of yourself, you're going to have to build a mindset of continuous improvement. You can't get lackadaisical with your improvement, because in this life, you're always either growing or dying. And if you can just get that habit in place, if you can just attach that emotional feeling that you get whenever you don't do one of your habits, right? If you could just make it so that it's a habit to move your body and you feel weird when you don't. If you could just make it so that it's a habit that you pour this focused, intentional time into the people you care about, so that way you're able to put the focused, intentional time into your work, right? What if that was a habit? What if it was a habit that you educate yourself every evening? So that's number 3, y'all. What better way to educate yourself than through the power of books? Now, if anybody's interested, we have a library where you can literally get 10-minute summaries of all the best books that have ever been written, right? It makes it so that you can take a shower and literally hear a new book. So I'm just throwing that out there. But you ain't got to go with that. You could get Kindle. I mean, damn, YouTube is amazing, right? But what I'm saying is, what if you scheduled that time in, right? By reading, you're not only accessing this plethora of the greatest minds on the planet, and you're able to do it for free, absorb all the information, all the education that they invested in, and just grab it. But you're also increasing your own ability to create distinctions, your own ability to recognize patterns, aka intelligence. You're also fueling yourself with all this valuable, powerful inspiration that helps you continue towards your goal, because you start to see remnants of the great ones in your journey, and therefore remnants of greatness in yourself. You stop being put down by the obstacles and you start being inspired by the obstacles, because you've read enough to notice this is just how it goes. You get what I'm saying? This inspirational fuel is what boosts you towards these positive thoughts, and it creates positive energy even while you're sleeping, which now you wake up with an optimistic state of mind. So what I'm suggesting is you throw nightly reading into this thing, 30 minutes, right? And pick out something you want to get better at, and then just read about the subject. Maybe you're in the health and wellness business, right? Maybe you're in the travel game, right? If I'm in a travel game, I'm studying all the most fantastic places to have on your bucket list. If I'm in a travel game, I'm reading every night about the most fantastic places to visit, so I can be more descriptive when I'm talking about this next trip we're going to take. If I'm in the health and wellness business, I'm reading every night, not only about how to make sure I get much better with my craft, like I'm watching a class in the Kaizen Academy, I'm picking out some subject, I'm working through the workbook, I'm reinvigorating myself. I'm not only doing that, right? But I'm also just studying health and wellness. I'm also just studying different of the red ocean category kings in my particular vertical. What are they doing? What's their audience saying about them? I'm putting in a little work, because then tomorrow's work is going to be that much easier. I'm going to have an extra bar to throw in there. I'm going to have an extra jewel to drop. You get what I mean? Millionaires, when you commit to this nightly reading goal, or let's say 30 minutes a day, you're using the experts to propel you. It's a force multiplier. And then what happens is, if you kick it long enough like that, you end up having a PhD in whatever. I don't know how many of us know it, but the average PhD, they combine like a couple dozen books for the PhD, right? Well, if you just give yourself 30 minutes a day, by the end of the year, you have a PhD in any subject you want for free a lot of times. All right. So all I'm saying, y'all, is it's all about constant and never-ending improvement. If you're an entrepreneur and you're just waiting on life to teach you everything, and you're waiting to learn from your own mistakes, somebody give me this in the comments. A smart man learns from his mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. All right. Here's the fourth one I got for you. Here's the fourth one I got for you. A lot of us leave this out. A lot of us leave this out, and we end up crippling our potential for power. What do I mean? I'm saying you got to give gratitude. You got to give gratitude. A lot of us leave this part out. Now, you know, the millionaire minded, we're here every morning, like starting every affirmation, like I'm so happy and grateful, right? Like we if nothing else, boy, you guys say, we focus on some gratitude around here. You got to love it, right? But what if every night you worked into your habits this whole idea of jotting down things that you're grateful for? A nightly gratitude habit, millionaire. It keeps you grounded in the moment, but it also makes it so that you don't get so lost in the chase, you forget to acknowledge what you already got. Millionaires, what if you wrote down every night before you go to sleep for the next 90 days, 3 or 4 or 5 positive things that happened that day? 3 or 4 or 5 positive things that happened that day. I guarantee you some amazing things happen. A lot of times we don't give ourselves credit, man. Sometimes when I'm talking to one of my students and I see him getting a little bit nervous about learning some new skill, I remind them, you've learned so many skills during your life. You're just not giving yourself the proper gratitude. Sometimes I'll have them jot down. Let's write down some things that you've learned. You learn how to walk. You learn how to drive a car. There was once a time you didn't, right? You learn how to use a laptop. You hear me? And I'm just starting with super basic stuff. But you learn, baby. Here's the fifth one I got for you. Here's the fifth one I got for you. Yeah, Stuart. What's up, brother? I love it. I love it. Okay. Okay. All right. And then this is number 5, y'all. Identify your 5 biggest rocks. Share this with somebody that needs these habits every night. Share this with an entrepreneur who needs these habits every night, y'all. I don't know how many of you know, and you're on Clubhouse, you can't see it. How many of y'all know about this 90-day map? I know we're about to do like this 90-day blitz and whatnot. How many of you know about what we call the 90-day map? You know, millionaire action plan, massive action planner, whatever you want to call it, right? There's a bunch of cool stuff in here, right? And we'll talk more about it tomorrow. But check it out, man. The reason that we put this part right here, right, is so that while you're making your calls or you're doing there's your 5, right? Because the 5th thing that you need to do every evening, y'all, is identify your 5 biggest rocks. Y'all ever heard this story about the professor? He comes into the room and he has a vase, right? And he takes these big stones and he puts them inside the vase, right? And then he asks the class, is this vase full? And then everybody says, yeah, you know? And then he says, okay. And then he takes some slightly smaller stones and he puts them inside the vase. And of course, they start to fill in the spaces. And he says, hey, is this vase full? And then the class is like, oh, man, you know what? You know, I think I see where he's going. So let's hands go up. Then he takes some sand and he pours the sand in there. Of course, the sand fills in even more spaces, right? Then he takes some water and pours that. He said, what do y'all think I'm doing right here? What is my point of this? And then one of the students raises her hand and she's like, what you're saying is no matter how much we think we can fit into the day, we can always squeeze more. And the professor looks at her and he says, no. As a matter of fact, that's the absolute opposite of what I'm saying. But I love that you said that because that's what most people think. Well, they love their professor, so they continue to listen. He continues to explain. He said, the purpose of this exercise was for you to look at this vase and understand that if you didn't put the big stuff in first, it would never fit. Millionaires, you have a lot of things you want to accomplish, okay? And the power of this 90-day planner is all in what we call the wheel of life, because you start off with your 1-year goals, like where you want to be by this time next June. But guess what? If you want to be there by next June, you got to chunk that thing down. So what do you need to do in the next 90 days that makes that yearly goal easier, irrelevant, or already done? And then what do you need to do in the next 30 days that makes that goal easier, irrelevant, or already done, right? And then what do you need to do in the next week that makes that goal easier, irrelevant, or already done? All right, check it out. And what do you need to do today? You need to pick out your 5 biggest rocks. Your 5 biggest rocks. The possibility of getting sidetracked from your vision is more likely to happen when you don't have a plan. Somebody give me this in the comments. All distractions are equal. All distractions are equal. All distractions are equal. Are equal. If you're not taking a moment to actually think about what's essential, what you're going to end up doing is being busy instead of productive. And the purpose of you being productive, it means you're working on a project. The definition of a project is that when you're done working for it, it starts working for you. That's the definition of a project. Millionaires, identifying your 5 biggest rocks for the next day lets you head into that thing with clarity. It lets you head into that thing with purpose. You hear me? You hear me? It lets you head into that. If I don't get in, so here's a question you want to ask yourself, whether you want to grab the planner or not. If you want to grab it, all you do is go to wearemillionaireminded.com, wearemillionaireminded.com. Okay. But check it out. Even if you don't, you can do it on a damn napkin. We don't care about that. But what I want you to ask yourself is, if I don't get anything else done tomorrow, what are the 3 to 5? You know, hopefully you can find 5 of them. You are an entrepreneur. You are a winner, baby. What are the 5 most effective tasks that I need to do that get me closer to my goal? You know, there's somebody scary you've been meaning to call. Write it on a list. I bet you knock it out. And then while they talking, you see what you got here? You got the beginnings of a personnel file, baby. They go to notes. They go to lines for your notes and all of that. And then what you got off here on the side? You see how on your monthly calendar, there's your savings goal. There's how much you saved last week, right? Because you're going to pay yourself first, right? Every month you got entrepreneur tips. This was like, all entrepreneurship is philosophical, psychological, and numerical. Simply match what you believe, right? That's the philosophy, with what the market believes. That's the psychology. What the market believes they need. And then show everybody you can until you get good. And then you sell that asset, skill, or knowledge. So it's all philosophical, psychological, and so it's like that. But my point is, what you need to do is plan that thing out so that every single day you actually have an alarm every night that's reminding you to set your goals. Man, we out of time. I hope this was helpful. Yeah. That's smart. There's a bunch of other tricks in the planner that I'll show you too. It's ill. Like one of my favorite parts, while y'all are calling in on the live line or joining us on Clubhouse, you can dial in on the line. I'll show you one more that's wild, right? Y'all ever done it? Y'all ever heard somebody, maybe it's you, say, I just don't have enough time. Check this out. This is called a time audit. And this is something else that you can just do on your own if you want. You don't. Listen, I don't care if you buy the planner or not. You know, I'm just saying it's a lot of it organized for you. But you can do this with a piece of paper, right? You see how it says, what did I do from 12, midnight to 12:30? Okay, I was probably sleeping. So we're going to give ourselves a N for necessary activity right there. That's neutral. But we're going to give ourselves a P if it's a profitable activity, a L if it's a loss. This gets rid of that whole thing, because what happens is you start to see you got more time than you thought. What did I actually do from 12 to 12:30, 1 to 1:30, 2 to 2:30? What did I actually do, yo? And then you look at that after a couple of days and it's like, wait a minute. My problem ain't time. My problem is discipline. All right, love y'all. Repeat after me. It's affirmation time. I am so